strategies, executive coach working with professionals and executives to achieve optimal level of performance and work satisfaction. She believes that strength-based change management founded on positivity and resilience makes the difference to individual and organization. In 2016, Sulynn was the first Asian to graduate with the Pioneer Master of Applied Positive Psychology from the University of Pennsylvania. And she has integrated positive psychology with almost 30 years of diverse local and international management and operation experience in senior leadership positions across various industries, with almost 2 decades in business consulting. And for the second half, we have another humble facilitator, that is Dr. Malini Ratnasingam. She's a lecturer in social psychology with the psychology program at Heriot-Watt University. And her research interests lie in applied social psychology, and she has conducted research on team effectiveness with manufacturing in Malaysia and Japan, developing knowledge workers' culture and thinking styles, entrepreneurship, social identity and intergroup relation. Her purpose is to contribute to capacity building through enhancing character strength in young adults, to contribute to peace building through her research in social identity. Okay, before we start, I would like to invite Rashid and Maisara to come in front to lead the cheer. Okay? There's one more. What's her name? Maisara? Oh, Maisara times 2 and Rashid. Okay. Okay, can we ask everyone to stand up? Thank you. Yes, we are going to do the cheer.
Alright guys, so when I say I am, you guys say following, right? I am empowered. I am empowered. I am empowered. Alright, thanks guys.
Thank you. I will now hand you over to Sulynn, who will continue the discussion on VR character strength. Thank you.
Good morning. And I am impressed. You guys are actually up and looking like that at 9 a.m. on a Friday morning. Well done. Give yourself a big hand. Go! And let me understand the dynamics of this room. I'm not used to talking to people this way. I normally work with corporate people. They're normally here. Right? So now I'm going to go there. So let me understand this. Is there something about this room that makes people sit here and not there? Is it the aircon? What is it? Help me understand so that I can work with this room. You are nearer the speaker. Oh, so if I stood there, then you wasted your ticket. I see. Right. Okay, so let's get started. I have 54 minutes left of my hour. Now it's 9:06 now. So there was this introduction about me. Yes, I don't know whether you heard it. All you need to know is I am a mom of a girl who is probably about your age. That's all you need to know. Okay, so at the end of the day, it's all about us. Once upon a time, I was sitting where you were. Long. Okay, and this morning we're going to talk about strengths. So after 20 years from graduation, I actually went back to school to pursue a dream. I wanted to do psychology when I was in Monash in 1978. So I finally went back to school to finish off my psychology in the year 2004. That was a long time. That's following a dream. So I hope you guys are all doing courses of your dream because you don't want to wait 20 years. No harm. Never mind, talk to me later, I'll figure that out for you. Okay, so I went to UPenn and that was such a dream. So, did I intend to be there? Did I aim to be there? No. I was actually doing psychology at HELP. And then I decided that I didn't want to be a clinical psychologist. And I wanted to do something different. I wanted to do what I was great at. And what I was great at was in listening to people, in working with people, and helping people to be at their best. And lo and behold, as I was doing my final paper for the Bachelor of Science in Psychology in HELP, I went online. And in those days, it wasn't Google. It was some search engine that looked like don't know what. And I searched, no, I'm not looking at you, right? I searched and the word psychology, positive psychology came up. And I was curious. So what I did was I clicked on it. Curiosity is one of my top strengths. So I clicked on it and it took me to the UPenn site and they were inviting students, anyone in the world who would be interested in being a guinea pig in their first master's program. And that's how I ended up there. Okay, so that's a long story. So let's go straight into this. VIH character strengths, moment of truth. How many of you actually did that survey and brought your results? So there are two questions there. Did the survey? All up? You know what? Stretch your arms because you're sitting there for 2 hours. It's bad for your heart. Stretch. All right. Okay, so one hand for did it. 2 hands if you brought your results. Whoa! Give yourself a clap. Come on. You know what? When I ask you to clap, it's not for me. It's for you because when you clap, you are actually exercising your heart. That's the reason why I asked you to do it. It's good for you. Okay? So there's a lot of doing this because for somebody who's sitting down, it actually energizes you. So it's not for the person who's standing in front of you. So what we're going to do is VIA character strengths, and I am going to start off with some minutes of theory because I'm supposed to do this. Alright, the rest you guys read. Those of you who are interested, I have the handbook that is so thick that's sitting in my car downstairs. Alright, I guess if you want it, we can all take a walk down, but otherwise, let's go on with this. So character strengths. What is it about character strengths? So first off, definitions. When we want to learn something, when we want to know something, it is always to know what other people mean when they use that word, right? So, if I were to take away these definitions, what is your take on strengths? Just a few quick answers. Something that you're good at. Somebody at the back, what are strengths? Just yell it out. Sorry? Something you're good at. Same answer. You all read the same book, huh? What about people this side? What are strengths to you? What does it mean? Mr. Sleepy? The one in pink, red, what color are you wearing? What is a strength to you? I like this guy. He's got a sense of humor. Is it something that you're weak at? No, actually something you're not weak at. Alright? Power? Strength? Oh, okay. So, when you do the VIA character strengths, what difference does it make? Something you're good at could be a skill. Something you're good at could be a talent. True? But what is a VIA character strength? Sorry? So, what's your name? Oh my God, I'm really deaf. Alina. Alina says that a character strength is what someone sees in you when they first talk to you. What do you think? No. Okay, so what is a character strength? Can you hear her? Okay, can you stand up, turn around so that we can come to the room? And I'll stand next to you so that I can hear you. Come on, let's go. Or I can lend you this. Or we can have the mic. There we go. Right. I walk too fast. Thank you. There we go. Let's go, my sir. Now you don't have to look at them. You can just talk.
It's not necessarily that the first strength that you have is like obvious. Sometimes people tend to hide it. Only once you get to know that person, most probably the strength that you know, that person will appeal. That's in my perspective.
Okay, so a strength can be unseen. How many people agree with that? That you have strengths that sometimes people don't see. And how does that make you feel? Sad, invisible. What else? Don't worry. I just had a concussion before, so I don't intend having another one. Alright? So, what we have is, I'm going to walk up and down with this mic. So let me end your agony. How many, you feel sad when people don't recognize your strength? You feel invisible when people don't see your strength, which is why this came about. So, character strengths are different from talents and skills. Skill is something you can learn. You can go to school, you can go to a class, you can watch a friend, you can watch YouTube, you can learn. A talent is something you are very, very good at, that you are born with, is inherent ability in you. If you develop it, you become a star. If you don't, it just goes away, right? And they go like wasted talent, right? So, a strength in this sense, a character strength. The word character here carries the weight. It is moral in nature. It is something that you have inside that drives you, that makes you want to do good, that makes you feel energized. And when people recognize in you, you feel so wonderful that someone saw it in you. And sometimes, invisible, we don't see it ourselves either. Somebody else tells us that. So that is a technique out there that we teach people. It's called strength spotting. So what we do is whether we are coaches or we are just, because we're trained in it, we will talk to someone and we will actually tell someone, you know what, I love your strength of creativity. How do you know? Because she has this secret passion, for drawing things, and she doesn't show anyone because she's not confident of her drawings and, things like that. I'm sure some of you got some secret, something that you're hiding away that you're great at. And when you recognize it, this person goes like, how do you know? Right? But you know that the person feels good, that you can actually hear it. And I can tell that person because by the way you talk, by the way you describe things, I can feel it and I can see it in you. Right? So let's go back to what we were doing. You guys like slides? So there are many different definitions of strengths. There are other people who measure strengths. This morning we'll focus only on character strengths. Now, character strengths are not just because the professors of UPenn or whoever decided there will be character strengths, and therefore we will put out this free survey out there, and everyone will take 240 questions, in your case 120 questions, and come up with a set of strengths. Oh, whoa, no. A lot of work went into this. My professor, the late Chris Peterson and his team, read some 3,000 over ancient texts because it's moral in nature. We went back to Aristotle, we went back to Epictetus, we went back to Plato, we went back to everyone. Why? Because when it's moral, it's ubiquitous. It is known, it is common across all culture, across all time. It doesn't matter. If you see, it's good. If you see someone kind, it is kindness, right? Doesn't matter which country you come from, doesn't matter which culture you come from, doesn't matter how old you are. Right? If you appreciate beauty and excellence, sometimes you watch all these YouTube movies, these little clips that people send you, and you go like, oh, and some of you have tears in your eyes because it feels so good. So good that something is so wonderful out there. These are strengths, right? So this is what we're going to talk about. So what we do is, in positive psychology, we decided that, so positive psychology is not because Marty Seligman got smart, became the president of APA and decided, you know what, I'm going to stir things around. No. He and his merry men, there was a team of 7, since 1998 or something, they have been meeting. And research money, until then, had been spent a lot on fixing people, on making people good again. So you are diseased. You are not right. You are not right in the head, you are not right mentally, you are not right whatever, and we make you good again. However, in that sea of people who were doing research, there were people who were already studying, like Ed Diner. Alright? Professor Ed Diner had been studying happiness since the 1960s. But because everyone was more interested in, the DSM, how many of you are psychology students? Others, I'm talking double touch to you. Alright. The DSM is a diagnostic statistical manual for all diseases and all fears and things in the world. I think it's written up here. When I was, that time it was only DSM-4. Right? Everything was a disorder. So you have OCD, it is common words now that you use. So the world always look at people and look for what's wrong. What's wrong? What's not working? This morning I met someone at the plaza and I actually said, do you know you have beautiful eyes? She says, oh, no one ever told me that. I thought no one noticed. I said, you have the most beautiful eyes. So we don't. And I said, I bet people always tell you, you are too short, you are too skinny, you're too whatever. He said, yeah. So it's not just our culture. We tend to think, oh, you're Malaysian, always like that one. No. It is not about being Malaysian. Across the world, any age, any time, we tend to want to fix people. We tend to want to make things right. However, we fail to notice what is right. What is going on well already. So in the year 2000 or 1998, when Marty Seligman became the president of APA, he actually declared a new labeling, if you like. It's kind of like Marty put up this giant yellow umbrella. And he says, hey, yo, all of you who are studying things that are about well-being and that are about happiness and about things that go right in the world, come and stand with me under this great big umbrella. And we will call it positive psychology. Right? And if you study psychology, you know there is a lot of backlash. Why positive? Does that mean everything else is negative? No, not at all. Not at all. Why do you guys always think like that? That if I say something good, there must be something bad. No. Positive because that was the only word they could think of then. I mean, if someone smart could come up with psychology or well-being, I teach the psychology of strength. Some people teach the psychology of well-being. It's all same. It's the same yellow umbrella that was set up. So what we do is we focus. We focus on what's right. We focus on making you, getting you from, let's say if there was this invisible line, right? And below 0, south of 0, you have some disorder, you have some, what is the word that they use? Disorder, syndrome, and goodness knows what? You are south of that line. Now, most of you are above that line, right? Let me see by a show of hands. How many people are above 0? So all of you have some disorder or syndrome. Seriously? No. Malini, you've got your work cut out for you. Seriously? See, what we tend to do is, the world is so mean to us that we start thinking there's something wrong with every one of us. We dare not even say we are 1 or 2 points above 0. The truth is, most of you, if I did a happiness test with you, would score at least 5 out of 10. That actually puts you 5 above 0. Positive psychology studies what goes right. Positive psychology studies what helps people move or not fall below 0. And we're not saying that below 0 doesn't exist and we ignore that. No, there are experts who deal with that already. Let us deal with the 97% of that world who are right, who are okay, who are like you. Let us help you raise how you believe, what you believe about yourself, from a 5 to a 6 to a 7 to an 8, so that you feel fulfilled in your life, you feel good in your life. So that's where we are coming from. Okay, so I'm not going to teach you positive psychology today, but that's where strength study comes from. We focus on strength. So if you look at this is a very quick diagram. Dr. Malini, it's alright, it's quoted, she Lopez is there, right? So this is how we look at it. If you look at it in terms of well-being, well-being is how do you feel about yourself. It's not about happiness. Happiness is just a momentary state. It is well-being. Do you feel healthy? Do you feel good today? When you woke up this morning, how did you feel? This is well-being. When you go to sleep at night, are you looking forward to tomorrow? When you wake up in the morning, what are you thinking of? Oh God, I woke up. No. I wake up every morning and I say, thank you God for another day. Because at 25, I was told I was going to die. I am 60 today. So every day, I wake up and I say, you know what, I am alive. And all of us take life for granted. We believe that we will wake up in the morning. But we wake up with, some of us with dread. Oh man, today 9 o'clock class. Why not Friday? Right? No. So this is what we are talking about. So we aim to be up here. If you're down here, what we look at is mental health is not fantastic if you are low. Alright? Okay, so let me reread this. I cannot read backwards. Let me stand here, okay? So you have subjective high well-being, high and low. You have mental illness symptoms, high and low. So obviously, if you have mental illness symptoms, you're on the other side and the other one is on the other side. Where we aim to be is somewhere here. Where most people are somewhere here. That's why none of you, I'm so surprised, none of you put up your hand when I say who's above 0. Really? No. Alright, and at the end of this class, I'm going to ask the same question again. Alright, so, a strength by Marty Seligman and Chris Peterson and his team. There were a team of, I think, 30 over researchers on this. Okay? These are the criteria. I'm not going to go through them one by one this morning because it's going to bore you to death. You all can read. If you want, there is a lot of things. Go to the VIA Institute website. It's VIA, I think it's VIA character.org, I think, or something. Just Google VIA and you'll come up. Okay, you will learn everything there. You will even see the very first piece of research was actually done by me. Ha! It's inside there. Don't read it up. Okay. So one very important thing is when it is a strength, it doesn't make somebody feel lesser than you. So those of you who say power, if your idea of power is to go out there, show your strength so that somebody feels like an idiot next to you, sorry. That is not moral strength. Moral strength is when people recognize it in you and people feel good. And people want to be like you. It's motivating, it's inspiring. Don't you want to have strength like that? That you walk around as an inspiration to others? How many of you would like to do that in your life? That you would have liked to have influence on the people that you meet. In my daughter's words, that you will touch people's hearts with whatever that you choose to do with your life. Show me by a show of hands. Some of you. The rest of you, what would you like to do with your life? Sorry? Yes? Okay, so that's a different question, all right? So my Sarah said, what if I wanted to inspire someone but that person feels the other way? A strength has got nothing to do with what you do. It is not about what you do. It's about what you are being. Who are you? That is the character strength. That's who you are deep down inside. What you do is different. Those are choices that you make. Behavioral choices. How you choose to speak. You might be very inspirational inside, but you have not learned how to communicate well. So when you talk, you make people feel small. That's a whole different thing altogether. Yeah? So moral strengths are inside you. It doesn't diminish ever. You look at it and you get inspired and you say, wow, I want to be like that. Right? So it has other criteria here. What I want to show you is also that it doesn't, there are some people who are totally without that strength. Some people have no humor. Have you ever met them? Some people have no humor. And some people actually don't have the strength of creativity. They work totally in the box. Where is the manual? Tell me exactly what to do. This was what was taught to me and that's all I do with what I want to do. Right? So a strength is not always present in someone else. It can be totally absent. That is something you need to know. So when you look at the 24, something at the bottom, it is not a weakness, right? It's a very complicated way of looking at it, which I'll spend some time doing. But just know that, yeah, it could be at the bottom of your list. Okay, I am going to leave this because it will take too long to go through that theoretically. So you have taken the strength test. The other way is to be professionally assessed. There are many strength tests out there. The other way is to actually ask somebody to tell you, what strengths do you think I have? I'm doing this course, Empower, in HWUM, and I was in this interesting class. So, Mommy, what strength do you see in me? Ask! You never know what your parents see in you because you only hear nagging. Oh, Mom, God. Right? Ask. Mom, what strengths do you see in me? Dad, what do you think my strengths are? Ask. You'll be surprised. You'll be surprised. You don't want people to tell you you're beautiful all the time. That's all trash. Alright? Beauty comes and goes. What you want to know are your strengths. And who should know better than the people who are with you? So go back and ask. But for the purpose of this morning, because we did the VIA, let's look at your strengths. Let's take them out. Let's take them out and look at them. So, First of all, look at the first 5. First question. Are they in alphabetical order? Does anyone have it in alphabetical order, at least 2 or 3? Good. Because it doesn't mean anything. If it's alphabetical order, that means it came out with the same score. And when you want to list something, the computer goes to alphabeticizing it. Oh my God, I can't pronounce anything exclusive with this. Right? So if you don't have, that's great. First strength, second strength, third strength, fourth strength, fifth strength are known as your signature strengths. Signature strengths are what makes you you. It's what makes you feel good about yourself, is what makes you come alive. So far so good? Look down to the 19, 20 to 24. These are not known as weaknesses. These are strengths that you probably don't put up very highly, value very highly, strengths that you don't use very often, and therefore you're a little bit rusty in using them. Strengths can be developed. Strengths are like a muscle. If you don't have a strength today and you come and tell me, hey, I want to develop this strength because it's going to be useful to me in my chosen career, let me tell you, strength can be developed. So, now I want to look, how many of you have got social intelligence in the first 3? Put up your hand. 1, 2. Is that a half hand? Yes, now exercise those muscles. Otherwise, when you grow old like me, you see this arm can't go up. Put it up. Bang. Right. So I've got about 5 people. Now, these 5 people, just answer yes or no, okay? Or you can put down your hand now. Where is your humor strength? Is it in the last 5, yes or no? Those who have it in the last 5, the 5 people who had social intelligence, put up your hand. The last 5, 19 to 24. Okay, let's flip the question. How many of you have humor in your top 5 strengths? Whoa, what a jokers in class. Fantastic. Now, those people who have your hands up for humor, look for social intelligence. Where is it? Shout out the numbers.
7.
Okay, any more? All right, who's got 18? All right, you're gonna be my favorite poster child today. Okay, tell me about your humor. So if you have humor and social intelligence way down, guess what happens sometimes? Right? People tell you to stop joking around, right? And sometimes you make jokes at the wrong time. Sometimes at the right time you make the wrong jokes. So, sorry, I'm not picking it. Yeah, I'm just showing you an illustration that strengths actually have dynamics. One strength against another can cause chaos in your life. Alright? So, let's go with this first. Read the definition. So have you all read through your strengths and know what it is, and I can run at a faster pace? All of you read and understood your strengths? Very good. Alright? So each strength is not that simple sentence that you see. If you read my thick handbook like that, each strength has got a range. So curiosity could be just ask questions. Curiosity could be investigative. Curiosity could be so curious that it kills you. That you are snooping around or whatever it is. So, strength can be overused, can be underused. Think of perseverance. How many people have perseverance in the top 5? Perseverance or determination. Very good. If you have those up there, what happens when you have perseverance? What do people normally say about you? You can do it, don't give up. What else? Be consistent, but you already have that strength. So the perseverant people do things a bit at a time. They are steady workers. What about the rest up there? I hear you talking, but you're obviously not talking to me, so what is it? Help me out here. Those who have got perseverance, you have? You make things last. Always your second last. So you struggle with getting things done and finishing things. Alright? So if you look at a scale, perseverance, normal means you have determination. If you say you do something, you stick it out. What if you have too much perseverance? What is it called? Those of you who don't have perseverance, when you see people who are very perseverant, cannot stand, what do you call that? So, what did you say? They are a headache. What else do you call them? People on this side. Sorry? Stubborn, exactly. People who are very perseverant, if you overuse it, people call you stubborn. You want to stick to your guns because you say this is what I want. But you know what? Other people think you're that stubborn. Was Thomas Edison stubborn? You bet he was. So, and that's where the concept of grit came up. That's a different story, okay? So, we have a range, we have narrow definitions. Perspective is perspective. Leadership is leadership. So, let's go on. Character strengths defines you. Your set of character strengths are unique to you. And character strengths have got two types. Tonic, T-O-N-I-C. Tonic means they are so you. No matter what, it's you. Okay? Phasic, P-H-A-S-I-C. It comes from the word phase. It comes and it goes. So what is a strength that is likely to be phasic? Sorry? Kindness? Kindness is phasic. Be careful, you guys. Look at their face and recognize it. Kindness is phasic, right? Bravery is phasic. Phasic means when the occasion comes, you will use it. If not, your tonic strength will come in because that's you. So let me give you an example. My 5 key strengths are love of learning, creativity, curiosity, spirituality, zest. Those are my tonic strengths. That's me. It's lethal. It's a killer. Right? When you want to learn something, you don't let go. And you want to share it with everybody because spirituality is about being one with the world. So it is crazy. But when I was, so when my husband left me, being a positive psychology student, I went and did the BIA because I wanted to test tonic and phasic strength. And my phasic strength came up. I had hope and optimism. I had kindness. And she is right. I have kindness, I have love, capacity to love and be loved. Because that's what I needed then to carry on with my life. Yeah? So, take that test as often as you like. It is actually a barometer to show you how you're feeling about yourself and how you're coping with the world. Or what you need from the world or people around you to keep you whole. Got it? So let's look at strengths, yeah? So it's a unique combination and there are 6 virtue groups. So what we did was we actually studied the holy books, we studied the Bhagavad Gita, we studied the Quran, we studied the Bible, we studied Confucius, we studied the old ancient Greek and whatever philosophers, and we decided on 24. Why 24? Chris Peterson will say, I don't know, it's just a good number. 36 seems like a lot. That's how he talks, right? And for our essay, for one of our pieces for strength, we had to write if there was a 25th strength, what would it be? So that taxonomy is open to expansion, is open to a lot of things. A lot of people look at it and think it is set in stone. It is not. There are overlaps inside there, and the creators of this are aware. And the Meyerson Foundation sponsored this research, and the Meyerson Foundation still sponsors having that survey online for free to the world. Yeah? So Neil Meyerson made it possible. So this is what we have. Wisdom, there is a set of wisdom, strength, there is a set of courage, humanity, justice, temperance, transcendence. Do you know what those words mean? Very good. I love you guys. Alright? So what we're going to do is, this is what the strength look like. I love colors, as you can see. Right? Because I'm the creativity. Yay! Right? So it's colors, and you probably can't see this very well. That's okay. You can actually get this online. I built this stretch bit by bit. I think I was crazy. Right? And these are strengths. So I'm going to hot skip this and do an activity so that you can actually see your strengths. So you have this. Do you have a piece of paper, all of you? If not, just write it at the back of your results, okay? Think privately for a minute. This is your 5 strengths. What do you normally use it for? And my Sarah laugh. Right? Everyone, take a minute. What do you use each of the strengths for? Bravery is authenticity. So, being authentic, you are brave in being yourself. Bravery is an act of courage. So it's usually facing. Come and see my face, I'll show you what I do. Okay? Look at where social intelligence is. Very good. Now, I want you to do a small exercise. Can you pair up? Have a friend pair up. Now don't be so mean, okay? 2 people pair up, 2 people pair up, and leave one in the center, okay? Now let's pair up exactly where we're sitting and turn to the person next to us. Got it? Anyone without a friend? Anyone without a friend? Do we all have partners? Please answer me. Those with no partners, go find a partner. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Yeah. Okay. Right. So you already have your reflection. Now I want you to turn to each other. 1 minute each. I want to share one of those and tell when you were at your best, when you felt that you were so on top of the world. Right? What was it that you were doing with that particular strength? Choose one strength. Can you do that? Okay, we're starting now. 1 minute each, that means 2 minutes total, and I'll stop you. Turn to each other. You at your best, yes.
Yes, it's every moment of my life, except in the morning.
You at your best. Share with your friend. Where is your friend? You're not talking? You have to talk for 1 minute. I don't care what you talk about. 1 minute. You at your best. So you have to describe an entire episode and it's not like I'm good. You know, the time I killed a mosquito. Are we okay out there? Why are we looking at the phone and not looking at each other?
I know.
1 minute. Sorry. All right, switch sides. Have you switched? How many pairs are done? How many pairs are done? You're not. Okay, switch sides. If you're done, show me 2 hands. That means both are done. The rest are not done. Keep your hands up. Are you done? Okay. Now, who would like to share the best story you heard? So between the 2 of you, decide, and I'm going to pick on 1 person in this entire class. You're so lucky. All right, so decide between the 2 of you who has an amazing story of a strength. Unless you want to volunteer. So what you're doing is you're volunteering to tell the story of your friend. Do I have a volunteer or shall I volunteer you? Okay, I guess you are just being your age. I would like the guy there in the middle with the computer to come down here. I've got a mic. Come and tell me what story you heard that was so amazing about your friend. Come on. Yes. Here we go. You can stand there. You're telling about your friend. That's it. Do you know that? Let's go.
Good morning. Hi guys. I think most of you have known me from Mr. Mushtaq's class. So basically my name is Yash and I guess I'm the lucky one again to tell the story. I guess. Hello. Okay, so basically one of my 5 traits was, one of them was bravery, apparently. And like, I wouldn't get into bravery with like humans, but I really am an animal lover, so I'll just tell you one story about, basically there was one time, from where I'm from, where I passed by a river and I saw a baby puppy in the river, and this river is like raining heavily. The river is.
The river was raining?
I mean like my place was raining heavily, and the river was like vicious. The water was, the current was very strong. This puppy was clearly struggling. I could hear the puppy's screams. So yeah, I got out of my car, parked at the side, and jumped in the river with white shirt. Basically, it was a dirty river with my white shirt. And I swam and saved the puppy basically, and I brought the puppy home, but apparently my parents wouldn't let me keep it. So instead we opted to place it with someone else, that we tried.
Wow. Thank you. Right? So, what's your name again? Yash. Wait. Hang in there. So, when you were telling that story, what does it feel like? Do you want this? No. Just yell out. Yeah. It makes you feel good to share the story? Okay, thanks. Alright, give him another hand, right? How many of you felt inside you or put up your hand? Not that's different. That's a different emotion. Okay? So that is what I meant by a strength inspiring others. It doesn't have to inspire everyone. As long as it inspires someone. And my Sarah actually asked about the same strength. What if I have bravery and it's a tonic strength and I use it all the time? Using all the time doesn't mean anything. It means tonic, yes, or maybe you are always in a mode where you need to use it all the time. That you are fighting a constant battle to do something, you're struggling to do something new in a new field, and that's okay. But over bravery is foolhardiness. For instance, Yusa went into the river and he couldn't swim. I mean, white shirt, the mother would think he's foolhardy enough. And he couldn't swim and he went in with the puppy, that's foolhardiness. Yeah? So bravery has its place, every strength has its place. When you overdo it without thinking, it is not a good thing. Does that answer your question? Yeah? So, next exercise. Now I want you to work in threes. Alright? What we're going to do is we're going to figure out, look at your 5 strengths and look at your 5 bottom strengths. Now, there are 2 scenarios. You choose what you want to tell your story about. How do your strengths work together to support each other? So, and make it either too strong or anything. How do they work together? Alright? To create mischief. Or how does lack of a strength, or you know, when you have in the top 5 and bottom 5, lack of a strength actually creates problems for you. Right? So think in terms of when do your strengths get you in trouble? By looking at other strengths. So 3 in a group. Let's go. Why don't you just turn around and go with the 2 girls and the 3 of them? Just move. we done? Who's done? Can you put up your hand so that I know which group is done? Nobody's done. It's so fun talking to each other, right? Okay, I have to move on because there is a second half to this lecture. So let me just hear from someone on this side. How did a strength actually get you into trouble? Anyone? Any volunteers? If you don't volunteer, I'll volunteer you from this side. You want to come and tell your story?
Yes, go.
Come. This side is not responding. Anyone from this side? Because the other side is going to dominate. Everything is coming from this side. Come on. 1%. Come on. Great. Give him a big hand. Go.
One of my top traits is honesty. And I had a friend once who
Look at them.
I had a
Stand
friend.
me, then we can see.
I had a friend who refuses to try new things. So, like, in his first 18 years of living, he had never had fruit before. So I was like, I have to get him to try new things. So, I was very honest about it and saying that you're being very unadventurous and you don't want to take risks, even though it can be very fruitful in the end. And
That's a pun. He doesn't eat fruits. So if you eat fruits, it's going to be fruitful. Gotcha.
so, but he didn't take it the right way. And he thought I was very rude. Maybe I was rude. I just felt I was very honest about it. But he ended up being very harsh and resented me for it for about 2 months. But then he actually thought about it and tried it.
So he ate your food.
He ate multiple times.
Wow, well done. Okay, so thank you. What's your name? Terry. Okay, so what did you learn from there?
I learned that with honesty, you also have to think about how others will react to what you say. And there's always a limit to how far you go.
Fantastic. Give people a big hand. So you can have honesty. It helps to have emotional intelligence. It helps to have some social intelligence, right? And it helps to have some kindness so that we choose the words that we use. Now, last but not least, let's do something fun. Now, this is a challenge to me. I've always worked on a flat roof. This room goes like that, alright? So it's going to be a pretty picture. So, look at this. So, my professors obviously study this. They do statistical studies on this. They rank strengths and stuff like that. So, this is a very old chart. So, some of the strengths are known by different names, but it's still the 24 strengths. So, spot your number one strength. Everyone, number one strength, okay? Right, where is your number one strength? Hold it in your head. Okay, so what you have here is mind or heart, focus on self or focus on others. So if you look at your 5, generally where are your strengths? Are they all spread out? Are they in one piece? Sorry? Judgment should be under where is judgment? So this is spirituality. Open-mindedness. Where is judgment? Judgment is missing. So there should be there. Your right is not there. Right? Judgment. Judgment is of the mind. Yeah. And it's probably somewhere here. That's my guess. Okay? Now, number one, strength only. Put down whatever you're holding. Alright? Cameraman, hang on to your camera. I am going to draw heart on top, mind down here. Got it? On this side is focus on self. On this side is focus on others. Your number one strength. Go and stand in the quadrant. So middle line is where the camera is. So because I don't want you banging into the camera. So heart, mind, self, others. Stand up and walk to your quadrant. Let's go. Your number one strength. The middle one is where the camera is. Alright, so where the camera is, leave that line free.
我不知道啊，请问。
Where the camera is, leave that entire row free so that we have a perfect access.
哦，在做啊。好玩。
Spiritual is religious. Honesty is authenticity. Alright? Honesty is authenticity. Spirituality is religiosity. Judgment is missing, so judgment should be somewhere here on this line. This line. Between myself and others, judgment. Where's my judgment? On the line. So we stand in the middle of this corridor. Humility is also missing. Humility is somewhere in the middle. Humility is mindful. So it's probably somewhere on the left. This is not very easy. Self-awareness. Both. Yeah. That's probably why it's missing there. Judgment is towards the mind. Heart is up there, mind is down here. Yeah. Humor is playfulness. Where is it? That humor is here. Yes. So I have in the middle. Alright, are we all settled? Appreciation of beauty. Oh, this is humility. Yes, I saw it. Beauty. Beauty is go off the center. So you do yourself. Where the God is. Judgment. I can't find one yet. You are in the middle of the line. You are more where this guy is.
Yeah, more.
Okay, yeah? You are a little bit off towards self. Self is this one, where the proper door is. Modesty is that side.
Yeah, in the middle.
Self is on that side, others is that side. So just decide whether you should be right or left. Are you all in the right position? That group in the middle?
Mine at the borderline. Mine at the borderline. I know it's
So that group in the middle. Are you self or others? Okay? Over there.
Okay, guys, wherever you are standing, all right? Wherever you are standing, you have a reason to be standing there. It's because of the chairs and things, it's hard for you to place yourself. I know that, all right? So, how many people here are heart and self? Put up your hand. Now go to the upper quadrant there. Just stand together. Heart and self. Alright, you go where your dot is, not where the word is, the dot. Alright? So heart and self, top quadrant. On this side, you are others and heart. How many of you are others and heart? Show me by hand. Whoa, so many people are other-minded. Fantastic. Whoa, very good. Stay where you are. Alright, now the people in the middle, why are you there? The only people who should be on the middle line are the judgment people. Everybody else off my middle line. Keep my line clean. You're either there or there. If you're not judgment, you're not in the middle line. Alright, so all of you are others and mine. Okay, and why are you not standing in the seats instead? Because I wanted to make the problem. Alright? How many people are self and mind? Come down. Come down a little bit. And stay here. Yeah. Instead of staying aside, come into the seats so that I can see you. Are you all judgment? How many are judgment here? How many judgment people here? The rest who are not judgment, get off the line. You stand among the seats so that I can see where the distribution is. People at the sides, who are you? Come into the seats so that I can see the square. Oh my God, can that? Delicious. Yep. Then you stand in the middle. Are we all done? Alright. Judgment people stand in a straight line. The rest who are not judgment.
We have to be next to you, Mr. Mohan.
Here, okay, going.
Okay, now guys, take a look around. For this intake of students, are people mostly other-centered or self-centered? Other-centered. Right? Does it make it good or bad? There is no good or bad. Alright? That was a trick question. What we are looking for is, some people seem to be more outgoing or want to appear more outgoing, and therefore they end up there. For people who are on this side, you tend to think inside your head, you tend to do things on your own, and sometimes you don't feel so included and you have to put extra effort in there to come out this side. Am I correct? Yeah? So it's got nothing good or bad. We are just cut out differently. It is values. And because you are young people, those people who are here, as you grow older, as you come across more experiences in life, all of us, remember there's tonic, there's facing, and I had someone who tell me I just learned this new strength. You will keep morphing and growing and developing yourself. And some of you may actually have a little bit more hard on your distribution, because remember, I only took one strength. You are a constellation of strength. You are never one strength. But for each of it, can you imagine if I say look at your 5 strengths and stand wherever. You'll be more chaos than this, right? So, you know what? Thanks for the effort. I hope it illustrated a point that you are a great intake of students. You guys are going to do amazing things together. So back to your pen and pencils and computers. Okay, last slide. What I want to tell you is why are strength important? You have a good start. You have an amazing start in life because you know your strength. Some of us, I am 60, I only found out about this 10 years ago. Okay? So you have strengths. You don't need people to tell you your strength. You can go VIA and you can figure out your strength anytime. And in the VIA, there are actually exercises there. If you find that humor is number 1 and social intelligence is number 24, go to VIA, go to look for a strength growing exercise and practice your strength. If you can't find it, come to me and I'll teach you how to develop the strength. Ask Dr. Malini how to reach me, okay? I promise you I'll help you. Now, why are strength important? This is the late Dr. Chris Peterson. He was an amazing professor. He was my mentor. He died very young of a heart attack, right? And actually, I took this picture of him. People who develop their natural strengths across the main domains of your life. So whether you're in school, whether you are at play, whether you are with loved ones, whether you are pursuing something new, wherever you are, when you leverage on your strengths, it becomes easier. And because it becomes easier, you are more likely to succeed. So sometimes, I know you are starting your uni life, sometimes the stress gets way up. Sometimes things get tough. And because you are young, you are also into relationships and friendships and things get rough. Go back to your strengths and ask yourself, how can I use this strength to help me get through this? Yeah? Your strengths are your survival kit. And sometimes when your strengths are there, you might say, oh man, actually it was my strength that got me into trouble in the first place. So what is that called? Overuse or underuse? You overused it. So strength is like the volume control. You guys don't even volume control anymore, you press button. Right? In the old days, volume control was a modulator. So a strength, the way you use your strength needs to be modulated. It is not because it's bad. It's because you have too much or too little. Got it? And sometimes your 5 strengths don't help you. Run down the line and see where is the strength that was help you and go develop that strength. Kind of like my favorite example is always humor and social intelligence. If it's really at number 24, hey man, you need to work on it. Alright? Otherwise, you're always going to be the laughing stock of other people. So you become the joke yourself. Okay? And there are right times and wrong times to use your strength. In the airport, when you're going through the airport security, it is the wrong time to use humor. Let me tell you that. Absolute wrong time. What is another wrong time to use humor? Try funerals. Actually, I will give you a detour on that but another time, okay? So, whether you are at work, in your families, in relationships, community relationship, people report higher, notice the words, life satisfaction. It's got nothing to do with just happiness. Happiness is just momentary. I can make you happy one moment and I can bring you rock bottom the next. True? Happiness is transient. That's not what you aim for. What you aim for is a life well lived. That's what you aim for. That at the end, you say, you know what, I gave it all, I had a darn good time, and you know what, strengths grow. Okay, so thank you guys for your attention, and all the best to you.
Okay, to wrap up this session, I would like to end it with a quote from Martin Seligman. Use your signature